After several years of sharp increases, rent prices in the Denver area are expected to stay flat or even come down a little bit this year. Property managers say an oversupply of rental options and less demand is giving some tenants a little bit of bargaining power out there. 9 News real estate expert Lane Lyon joins us with a closer look this morning. Lane is a realtor and managing broker at Coldwell Banker. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
A little bit of good news.
Hey, we'll take a little bargaining power once in a while, right?
Big time. So let's begin with the supply issue. Where are all these rentals coming from?
Well, some of it is new construction, actually. You've probably seen a lot of these new apartment communities opening up. And in fact, the Denver Metro Association of Realtors recently had a stat out there that I found interesting. More than 21,000 new apartment units came online and came into the region over the past 12 months. That combined with reportedly fewer people moving to the Denver area over the last year is creating a little bit of a supply and demand issue, and it's creating some opportunity for tenants out there as well. I talked to Greg Batchelor, owner of Colorado Real Property Management, and he says, you know, with their portfolio, and they have one of the largest portfolios along the Front Range, he says that on average, they are seeing their rent prices go down between 5 and 7%. Depends on area, but they haven't seen that in a while, and this supply issue is playing a big role.
So if you're a tenant, how can you benefit?
Well, you can negotiate, actually, and this is something that I didn't really realize until I talked to Greg, and we are seeing specials out there. If you are a new tenant, there are some apartment buildings out there that are offering parking and a free month of rent, for example. But Greg says about 2/3 of the time when renewals come up in their portfolio, they are having tenants who are aware of the market situation say, you know what, I think we would like to propose a reduction in our rent. And a lot of people don't realize you can do that.
Right, I didn't know that.
A lot of these landlords are saying, you know what, I would rather, if it's reasonable, reduce the rent rather than take the risk of this tenant vacating and have to find another tenant. So it's something to visit with your landlord about, particularly in this market, at least for now.
I always just assume whatever it's posted for rent is what it is.
Yeah. And right now, there's a little bit of negotiation power out there.
Okay, so tenants love the sounds of this, of course, but experts also say there is a chance rents could swing back the other way, right?
Well, right, we're just looking at a lot of variables as we go into 2025. And one of the things that we're looking at, interest rates. We've talked a lot about that, and that can affect the rental market as well, because one of the scenarios that we're keeping a close eye on is if mortgage rates come down in 2025, and as you've heard me mention, we don't expect that to really happen this year, but if we start to see a little fluctuation with mortgage rates, we could see a lot of these landlords who are dealing with this situation decide to sell. If we see more landlords selling, that could make up a little bit of a balance with the supply issue, and some of those rent rates could end up coming back up. So for now, there's a little bit more of an affordability option, I think, for people who are renting versus buying. But I have to tell you, Corey, before I go, I'm working with a first-time home buyer right now. He is buying his first condo. He's actually saving $300 a month by purchasing a $270,000 condo. The seller is paying all of his closing costs because of our housing market right now. And the numbers are working in his favor, and he's getting down payment assistance. So if home ownership is something that you really want to do, but you're concerned about the prices of today, look into it, look at the answers. It may be an option even now.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to find the right lender, of course, and the right real estate expert to guide you in the right direction, but it can really make sense.
It definitely can, and you know, it's a good investment for the future, either now or down the road. So look into it.
All right, and there's a lot of benefits for first-time home buyers too to get
right
you in the
now,
door.
especially too in our market, whether you're renting or buying, seems to have some options for people out there. So this is the time to ask the questions because we're just not sure where the market's going to go, and there's some opportunity right now.
Nothing lasts forever, as they say, right? You never
Stay
know.
tuned.
Yes. All right, Lane,
Thanks,
thank
Corey.
you so much.
You got it.
Chris?